It's a really cool combination. I like that. So, but you appreciate the scientific method, though. You appreciate the idea of hypothesizing and testing and going by the science and going by the research.
Oh,
and
yeah.
testing things
it's
yourself.
just common sense. It's just common sense. I don't understand why the general public, won't use their common sense to think about the whole deal. In our food industry, in our, at the medical system. I just don't understand that. So I try to help others.
Thank you for your testimonial. And you're doing longevity products as well, I think, right?
I use mine, and I can give you some other testimony later on, and
you're awesome.
By using longevity
the BTT
product.
Yeah, well, I want to get. I got a whole bunch of calls here I want to get to, but I appreciate if you call us back periodically and just let us know how you're doing.
But one more thing it's really important. I want to pass this message. There's a guy yesterday, he's concerned about the mandatory vaccination.
Yeah.
If people out there, they're worried about that, please, go to the website. It's called petitionswhitehouse.gov. There's a petition going on. The deadline is on the 6th of this month. And you can go in there and then click on petition and search for something called prohibit any laws mandating the force and requirement of vaccination of any kind.
What's the website? Give the website one more time.
The website is called petitions.whitehouse.gov.
Petitions.whitehouse.gov.
Yeah, once you get into the page, you can go and click on the view petition and then search for the title related to the vaccination, and then sign the petition. So far at this moment, it has more than 100,000 people signing already.
People don't like having stuff injected in them, being forced to have stuff injected.
I don't want a neurotoxin, all those, chemical into my body. So that's why I just want to pass this, message, through your program to your audiences.
I appreciate it, Gina, and I also appreciate the kind words. Please stay in touch. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. God bless. Okay, that was awesome. Okay, Lucy in Texas, what's going on? Welcome to the bright side.
Yes, I'm calling in because my brother had started with a sinus infection, and then he slowly started losing his use of his muscles, and where he can't raise his arms, move his legs, walk. His speech is slurred. His eyes.
He's got an issue here. How old's your brother?
He's 53, and they think they are now reducing it down to Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Guillain-Barré, did you say?
Well,
that's just a name. That's just a stupid way of approaching health. It's just a name. There's no such thing as Guillain-Barré syndrome. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a bunch of different things that were discovered, that come together, that were discovered by a guy named Guillain-Barré. It's a nerve muscle issue, period, and involves autoimmunity. Did they tell him about the autoimmune component, by the way?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They've been doing CAT scans, and I guess the last thing they did was, the chest and the back CAT scans to see if the nerves are kind of inflamed going out from the spinal cord.
Okay, here's the deal. With Guillain-Barré or multiple sclerosis or polio or whatever, you got a nerve problem, you got a muscle problem, the body, and Guillain-Barré in particular, the body's attacking the nerves and the muscles. But that really, as far as reversing this thing goes, diagnosis is irrelevant. That's what we were saying yesterday. Your diagnosis doesn't matter except for the insurance company and except to bill you. Here's the deal. If you have a nerve and muscle problem, it involves inflammation of said nerves and muscles. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. Inflammation is a sign that the body's defense system has been activated. The defense system is called the immune system. So inflammation equals immunity. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Work with me here because I'm going to do this systematically, step by step, so you can see how to approach this thing from a reversal standpoint. You've got a nerve and muscle issue that involves inflammation. That involves the immune system. The immune system is the defense system. So we've got a defensive response problem here. Okay, Lucy?
Calling an autoimmune, I guess, is what they're trying to.
Autoimmune just means that you don't go get confused with that. All it means is that the immune system is activated. Autoimmune just means it's turning on itself, but that's not relevant for reversing this thing yet. We just want to understand that if you have a nerve and pain, a nerve and muscle issue, it involves inflammation, which involves immunity, which involves defense. So we've got a defensive response. Whenever there's a defensive response, the logical thing to ask is, what is the offending agent, period. Once you eliminate the offending agent, there isn't going to be a defensive response. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is how simple it is. I can hear the silence. I hear you thinking and the gears turning. Okay, I'm not psychic, Ben. I'm pharmacist, Ben. But I can see the gears turning in your brain. All right? You got to defend, because it's too easy. It seems like it's crazy. Why wouldn't the doctors know this? I don't know why they don't know this. Because sometimes people are so smart, they're stupid. But if you have an immune response and a defensive response, the only thing you need to know is what is the offending agent. And I'm still working with you here, but I want to make sure you understand this step by step. All right? Are we good so far, Lucy?
Okay, so the offending agent means that we're dealing with...
Don't jump ahead, Lucy. Let me take you there, okay? I just want to make sure you understand so far. All right? We've got a defensive response. That means we have an offending agent, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So all we need to know is what's the offending agent. Well, how can offending agents... Offending. Offense. You got offense and defense. You got a defensive response. So what that means is we have an offending agent, right? If you have a defensive response, something must be offending the body. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a defensive response. So the only thing we need to know is how is this offending agent getting into the body, and let's stop it from getting into the body. All right, so how can offending agents get into the body? And by the way, when I say the body, I mean the blood. That's really what the body is about, the blood. So something's getting into the... What's that?
Auto intoxication, I guess.
Well, don't get all sciencey on me here, okay? We'll get into auto intoxication here in a minute, but I want you to work with me. Something is getting into the blood inappropriately. Now, there's 3 ways things can get into the blood, okay? They can get injected through the blood, and we just talked about vaccines, and that's one of the big problems with vaccines is we're sticking stuff right into the blood. But unless your brother is an IV drug user, or vaccinations have been associated with Guillain-Barré syndrome.
He's not a vaccine. He does not take vaccines. As a matter of fact, had encephalitis.
Hang on, Lucy. I got to take a break, but I want you to understand that there's only 3 ways things get into the blood, and the first way we're going to eliminate that because he's not using IV drugs. Hang on, we got to take a break. We'll finish up when we come back, and this is more than just for Lucy. This is for everybody dealing with an autoimmune or an immune problem. I'm pharmacist Ben.
Hi, Coast to Coast listeners. I'm Kay Zwirling from KSCO Radio in Santa Cruz. I'm 93 years old, and I'm a big fan of George Norrie because his topics and guests are fascinating and really get you thinking. George is just as bothered as I am by all the advertising you hear for toxic prescription drugs that make you sicker, not healthy. I prefer to give my body all 90 essential nutrients it needs for life to prevent disease, not compound it. My favorite complete supplement is Beyond Tangy Tangerine from Longevity, which I take every day along with EFA Plus and Beyond OsteoFX, which together are called the Healthy Start Pack. I recommend you go online to criticalhealthnews.com to purchase these products. That's criticalhealthnews.com or call 855-949-RADIO.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
Improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Positive results from satisfied customers of Heart and Body Extract continue to pour into our website, hbextract.com.
This is Al from New Jersey. One day I saw your ad for Heart and Body Extract, and it mentioned that it would help me with angina, so I decided to order. I figure I had nothing to lose.
Heart and Body Extract supplies your body with everything it needs to balance itself and maintain optimal heart and circulatory health with no negative side effects.
I took the formula 3 times a day as directed, and I kid you not, within 4 days, my angina pain was completely gone.
Order HB Extract by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
I could not believe it actually stopped the pain. Heart and Body Extract actually works. This is just an amazing product. Even the numbness in my hands is completely gone.
Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
Great minds think alike. The network for the independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
Okay, we're back on the bright side, and we're talking to Lucy in Texas, but we're talking to everybody out there who's got some kind of inflammatory or immune or muscle or nerve condition, and that's a lot, or autoimmune condition. That's a lot of people. So anybody who's dealing with these kinds of issues, please listen up, because when I'm talking to Lucy, but this applies across the board, and this is so important. We touched on this yesterday. The body falls apart generically. We all fall apart the same way, and while it may seem that Guillain-Barré and neuropathies and muscle and nerve issues are unique and personal, Lucy, to your brother, they're not. They're a generic way that the body falls apart, and it all involves inflammation, which means immunity, which means defense, which then requires that we find the offending agent. Are you with me, Lucy? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. There's only 3, and by offending agent, I mean getting into the blood. This is where the problem all lies, into the blood.
Right.
Once something gets into the blood, it circulates around, and any disaster is possible. Health disaster is possible. So how do things get into the blood? Well, you can inject them through the skin, or if you have a burn, perhaps they can get in through the skin. This is the problem with vaccines, as I was saying. But you said your brother's not an IV drug user. He's not sticking a needle into his arm or into his body and getting things. No vaccine, so we can eliminate that. The next point of entry is through the nose. Now, occasionally this will happen, but rarely. There are cases, obviously, where this can occur. You can breathe in, chemical gases and chemical warfare. Military folks breathe in Agent Orange and they get cancer.
Can I interrupt for a second and ask you something?
Real quickly.
Okay, he was redoing his bathroom and he ran into
that could be, but that's very unlikely because it only happens occasionally. It's not long term. There's a third point of entry into the blood, all right? This third point of entry actually is where most of your defenses are located. This third point of entry is where most of us interface into the blood on a daily, if not hourly basis. Where am I talking about, Lucy? The third point of entry. The gut. Exactly. I'm not a food Nazi. I'm not a flake from Boulder who just talks about food and the diet all the time. I'm just telling you logic. And I know I can talk. I talk to people every day, Lucy. I talked to a gal a couple days ago, and I can hear the silence on the other end of the line when I talk about the food and the gut. And I can tell that they're thinking that I'm some kind of flake. It's chemistry. It's how the body is structured. Your immune system, your defense system is located in the gut. Largely. There's a little bit in the skin, there's some in the blood, but for the most part, it's the gut. That means for the most part, 80% of the time, immunity equals digestion. Inflammation equals digestion. Autoimmunity equals digestion. Guillain-Barré equals digestion. Lucy, he's your brother. You love him. You've been with him for 50 plus years. You have to know that there's some kind of digestive issue. Food intolerance, long-term constipation, long-term bowel problems. By the time Guillain-Barré shows up, it's long term. By the time neuropathy shows up, the digestive crisis has been going on for decades. Am I making sense, Lucy? You hear me so far?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now here's why it's problematic and why it's so important. Number one, it's going to get worse. And number two, he has control over it, not his doctor, not the medical model. Lucy, your brother can go to the doctor till the day he every day till the day he dies, and they will do nothing for him. Zippo,